Before the rise of modern icons like Salah and Lewandowski, there was one player who redefined what it meant to lead from the front: Didier Drogba. Whether it was scoring last-minute winners, dragging his team from the jaws of defeat, or sealing Chelsea's first-ever Champions League victory, Drogba's career was filled with moments that will leave you speechless. And today, I'll break down the highlights, challenges, and unbelievable feats that made him a living legend. Who is the one player you would trust to score when the pressure is at its highest? Many would answer without hesitation Drogba. Jose Mourinho, who managed him during his peak years at Chelsea, called Drogba the ultimate big-game player. And Frank Lampard, Drogba's teammate, declared, "Didier is the guy you want on your team when it matters most." Even the fiercest defenders admitted their respect for him. Thierry Henry once said, "Drogba was unstoppable when he was in full flow." In this piece, we will go into Didier Drogba's amazing journey, from his humble beginnings to his dominant years at Chelsea, and how he became one of the most revered strikers in football history. Didier Drogba's journey into football wasn't as fast-tracked as many other legends. Born in Abidjan, Ivory Coast in 1978, Drogba had to leave his family behind at a young age, moving to France to live with his uncle, Michel Goba, a professional footballer. Adjusting to a new culture, learning a new language, and living away from his parents was difficult for the young Drogba. Yet these challenges only forged his resilience. He began playing football in the streets of France, but his professional career didn't take off until he was 21. Many footballers are already making waves by this age, but for Drogba, patience and persistence paid off. His breakthrough came at Le Mans, a second-division French club, where he displayed flashes of brilliance besides battling injuries. Even in those early days, his blend of strength and technique caught the attention of scouts. It wasn't until his move to Guingamp in 2002 that Drogba truly exploded onto the scene. In a league known for producing top talents, he scored an impressive 17 goals in his first full season, helping Guingamp avoid relegation. His performance quickly earned him a move to one of France's biggest clubs, Olympique de Marseille, in 2003. At Marseille, Drogba made sure everyone in Europe took notice. His pace, strength, and aerial prowess were on full display, and he scored 19 goals in Ligue 1 that season. He also led Marseille to the UEFA Cup final, where, although they didn't win, Drogba's performance was enough to secure his place among the most sought-after talents in Europe. His next destination was England, where Chelsea, under the ambitious ownership of Roman Abramovich, was putting together a team to dominate both domestically and in Europe. Didier Drogba's arrival at Chelsea in 2004 coincided with the beginning of an era of dominance for the London club. Jose Mourinho, who had just arrived from Porto, had identified Drogba as the man to lead his attack, and Chelsea paid £24 million, a record fee for the club at the time, to bring him to Stamford Bridge. Drogba's impact was immediate. His physicality, coupled with his technical ability, made him a perfect fit for Mourinho's system. He scored 16 goals in all competitions in his first season and helped Chelsea win their first league title in 50 years. But this was just the beginning. The 2006-07 season was Drogba's true breakout campaign. He scored 33 goals in all competitions, including the winner in the FA Cup final against Manchester United. His knack for delivering in the biggest moments was becoming legendary. That season also saw Drogba win the Premier League Golden Boot with 20 league goals, further cementing his status as one of the best forwards in the world. However, Drogba's greatest moments in a Chelsea shirt came in the twilight of his first stint at the club. In 2012, at the age of 34, many thought Drogba's best years were behind him, but the Ivorian had other plans. In the UEFA Champions League final against Bayern Munich, Chelsea were trailing 1-0 with just minutes remaining. Drogba, as he had done so many times before, rose to the occasion, powering in a header to send the match into extra time. In the following penalty shootout, Drogba stepped up to score the winning penalty, delivering Chelsea their first ever Champions League title. It was the perfect way to end his Chelsea career, a moment that sealed his place as one of the greatest players in crucial matches in football history. Didier Drogba was a forward like no other. At 6 feet 2 inches, he was a towering presence on the field, capable of bullying defenders with his strength. But what made Drogba truly special was the combination of power and finesse. He wasn't just a brute force, he was a highly intelligent footballer with a remarkable first touch and the ability to score from any angle. His movement off the ball was impeccable. Drogba could create space for himself and his teammates with ease, often dragging defenders out of position to open up opportunities for others. He formed a lethal partnership with Frank Lampard, whose late runs into the box were perfectly timed to Drogba's knockdowns and layoffs. One of Drogba's defining traits was his ability to deliver when it mattered most. In cup finals and big matches, Drogba was often the difference maker. He scored in 10 finals for Chelsea, winning an astonishing 9 of them. His reputation as a big game player wasn't just a narrative, it was backed up by his performances. As the captain of the Ivory Coast national team, he was a symbol of pride and unity for his country. He led the Ivory Coast to their first ever World Cup appearance in 2006, and his role in helping to end the civil war in his homeland earned him global recognition. Drogba's legacy extends far beyond football. His humanitarian work and leadership have made him an icon, both on and off the pitch. Like many great players, Didier Drogba faced his share of challenges. Injuries plagued him throughout his career, particularly during his time at Marseille and early years at Chelsea. Knee problems and muscle injuries often sidelined him, but Drogba's mental toughness allowed him to overcome these setbacks. One of the most difficult periods of his career came in 2010, when Drogba fractured his arm just days before the World Cup. Even with the injury, he played through the pain for Ivory Coast, showing his deep commitment to both his country and the game. Though Ivory Coast didn't go far in the tournament, Drogba's dedication earned him even more respect from fans and teammates. Drogba's first stint at Chelsea ended on the highest note possible, with his match-winning penalty in the 2012 Champions League final. He left Chelsea as a club legend, having scored 157 goals in 341 appearances. However, this wasn't the end of Drogba's footballing journey. After brief stints in China and Turkey, Drogba returned to Chelsea in 2014 for one final season. Though he was no longer the player he once was, his leadership and experience were invaluable as Chelsea won the Premier League title once again under Jose Mourinho. Drogba eventually retired in 2018 after playing in the United States for Phoenix Rising, a club he co-owned. His impact on the game, particularly in Africa, is immeasurable. He inspired an entire generation of African footballers and remains a hero to millions around the world. For a player who came from humble beginnings in Ivory Coast to achieving European glory, Didier Drogba's journey is one of pure determination, skill, and leadership. His story is not just about football, it's about overcoming adversity, inspiring others, and leaving an unforgettable legacy in the hearts of millions. Drogba may have retired from playing, but his impact on the world of football will never fade.